of the, I think, 6. I have absolutely no idea who they are. Okay, so we're going to move on to Fortuit, and for Fortuit, please welcome to the stage. The name that's up there is different from the name that's down here, and I think we already had Clarence yesterday, but I might be. I'm just going to, you know what, I'm going to read out what's on here, and one of these things is going to be right. So please welcome to the stage from Fortuit, Michael Liebau, the CEO and co-founder, and Dan Foodie, product guy. Is that accurate?
Oh no, you have the wrong logo.
Do we even?
The wrong person.
Wait, yeah, is Clarence Wooten, wasn't he with Arrived yesterday? Should we get Clarence back on to pitch Arrived as part of Fortuit? All right, so anyway, please welcome to the stage Fortuit. Oh no, wait, are we getting different?
You'll do it.
No,
if anyone has any fucking idea what's going on, by all means come and take the microphone off me.
There's people from one company and a logo from the other.
So we've got some people from... Right, so we're going to have ThriftDB. Why don't you guys pitch together? It could be like a collaboration. Don't really do that. All right, so we're going to... it's just disruptive.
We're going to reset the clock though, right?
We're going to give you 4 minutes. I have no idea at this point. All right, yeah, let's reset the clock to 6 minutes if someone with more technical nous can do that. Cool. Please welcome to the stage from ThriftDB, Andres More and Harish Agarwal. Sorry. Fuck it. Please welcome ThriftDB.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much for coming. My name's Andre, and this is my partner Harish, and we're 2 of the co-founders of Octopart. In case you're not familiar with Octopart, it's a search engine for electronic parts, and we're here today to launch a brand new product that we developed internally at Octopart to solve a lot of the search problems that we encountered. The product is called ThriftDB, and it's a database with search built in. We designed it from the ground up to make search really simple to implement. And we're launching it today as a on-demand cloud service available at ThriftDB.com. You can sign up for the beta, it's free, and the sign-up will be available right after this presentation. Okay, so in order to make search really simple, we had to solve 2 big problems. And the first problem was the infrastructure problem. Right, this was a search setup at Octopart before ThriftDB. It's a really typical setup. We had a database and a search index sitting behind a web server, and our web apps would just send AJAX requests to the system. So the problem with this system is that every time we wanted to modify the index, we had to change the system in 3 separate places. Okay, let's take a look at our setup after ThriftDB. So this is much simpler. ThriftDB is just combining the database, the search index, and the web server into one system. It's a database with search built in. Now, the other problem that we had to solve to make search really simple was how to model data in a simple way. And it turns out that companies view the world in terms of objects. Right? Objects are just data items with attributes. At Facebook, for example, people are objects. They have first names, they have last names, they have college degrees. Okay, I think we already knew that Facebook treats people like objects, right? But it's not just Facebook. At Yelp, restaurants are objects. At Airbnb, apartments are objects. And it turns out that every company represents their data as objects. Right? Even TechCrunch blog posts are objects. They have titles, they have authors, they have publication dates. So objects are so important that we designed ThriftDB to handle objects natively. With ThriftDB, you put in objects, you get objects back, you search across them. Okay, now I just want to show you some apps that we built with ThriftDB. So first up, HN Search. So I'm sure you guys are big Hacker News users. I am. It's an awesome site, but it doesn't have search, right? So we built a search engine for Hacker News using ThriftDB. We're at TechCrunch Disrupt, so let's see what people are saying about TechCrunch. Okay, you can see that there were some posts from just a few hours ago. We're keeping the data up to date in the background in near real time. There are about 3 million Hacker News posts, and we just searched through them pretty quickly. With ThriftDB, you get fast, scalable search right out of the box. And you can do other things that you would expect out of a search engine. Sort by date, by points. In this app, we can search a particular user's comments. So this demo is running live, and we're just sending queries directly to ThriftDB. OK, now let's take a look at TechCrunch. So TechCrunch uses Google Site Search. A lot of sites use Google Site Search. So if we go to TechCrunch and let's say we're looking for iPad, we can do that search and we'll get back a bunch of pages, TechCrunch pages about the iPad, which is great. But Google Site Search can't take advantage of all the object information, the TechCrunch blog posts, right? So we built a search engine for TechCrunch using ThriftDB. Now when we search for iPad, right, we'll get back iPad posts, but we can take advantage of all the attribute information. So we can see how many posts were in the last week, the last month. You can see how often MG Siegler writes about the iPad. We can filter on tags like Apple or Android. Okay, these are really powerful features, and we built this entire app in a day. And actually, most of that time we spent parsing the data file. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is Octopart. You know, we built ThriftDB for ourselves at Octopart, and ThriftDB is essentially the search technology behind Octopart, that's what we're releasing today. So let's say you're an electrical engineer, you're searching for analog to digital converter, you do that in Octopart. We have 15 million parts in our database that can be described by up to 300 attributes. Right? And when you're searching for electronic parts, attributes are really important. So using ThriftDB, we can let engineers filter on, let's say, sample rate. You can let engineers filter on a lot of different attributes. You can do other things. So let's say you want to add a manufacturer filter. Okay, sort by price. So remember, we have 15 million parts, and this is a live demo. You can also navigate the category tree. So basically, ThriftDB lets us cut the data up any way we want. Another really cool feature of ThriftDB is how flexible it is. Before ThriftDB, when we wanted to add a new attribute, we had to take down the website and modify the setup in a few different places. Now we just upload a new schema, and that's it. It's really cut down our development time at Octopart. Okay, so we just took a look at 3 different apps, browser apps. They're all sending queries to ThriftDB. That means that we're using the same backend technology to search for electronic parts on Octopart, blog posts on TechCrunch, and comments on Hacker News. It's still pretty rare to find websites with good search, right? And I think it's a sign that search is still too difficult to implement. And that's why we built ThriftDB. It's a really powerful tool that's also extremely simple to use. Thank you.
Jason Kincaid nearly exploded with joy at the TechCrunch search there. Scott Harrison.
Can you just talk about the implementation with TechCrunch? I mean, that seems like a very useful, smart search. How did you do it? How long did it take?
So it took us a day to do it. You can verify that. When we were preparing for Disrupt, we asked them for an XML data feed. They sent us that. It took us a while to parse that. But actually, setting up the search engine was really easy. Once we got that parsed, it took us 20 minutes, literally 20 minutes to set up the search engine, and the rest was just working on the web app.
So that's a product you would sell? You would sell that customization?
No. So ThriftDB it's an infrastructure tool. So what we're selling is the hosted service. So it's like a database. You interact with it just like you interact with a database, except it has full text search built into it.
Right. So as soon as we imported all of that information into ThriftDB, it was searchable right away, and then it was just a matter of building out the user interface.
Would something like Octopart be similar in implementation, or that seems very complicated? How long would something like that take?
So the simplest thing is to actually put data into ThriftDB, because, like I said, I mean, you're just defining objects, populating them, and putting them in. The hard part of Octopart is the web app itself. You know, it's a nice AJAX interface where you can use sliders and do a lot of those things. That took a really long time.
So the user experience is really where you spend the time.
Yeah, exactly. And what we found at Octopart is that we were spending a lot of time on the search infrastructure. I mean, basically, we spent 3 years working on the infrastructure. We went through a bunch of different iterations, and we're a 3-man team, right? So we couldn't focus on the user experience.
Yeah, it would have been much better.
But if I'm calling you from GE Aviation, and we want you to do that for all of our jet engine parts, would I be hiring you for your database or for your user experience expertise, or both?
ThriftDB you would use it yourself. It's a.
So we create our own UI then.
Yes. Yeah. You create your own UI.
Right. I guess generally speaking, who are your target customers? What's your pitch to them? And then how do you charge them?
So I think that there are 2 ends of the spectrum that you could think about. One is, if you think about Octopart, we work with a lot of small electronic parts suppliers. None of them have very good search on their site. And I think it's because they can't afford to hire the development team, build out the infrastructure, host the service, keep the servers up to date. make sure they're up all night long. So that's definitely one part of our pitch. But I think that even for larger companies, this should make your development time much, much quicker because you just don't have to worry about the search infrastructure anymore.
Yeah, and actually, I think in the long run, so we called it ThriftDB for a reason, right? We view ourselves in the long run, not right now, but in the long run, as a database company. So right now, people are moving away from relational databases towards what people call NoSQL. And up till now, there hasn't been a NoSQL database with full text search capabilities built into it. And NoSQL and search are perfect for each other. And so that's why we're calling it a database.
Mike?
Anyone who can get that dreamy-eyed about the relationship between search and the database to me is got to know what he's talking about. Who wants to buy you?
Sorry, who wants to buy the product?
Who wants to buy this?
Well,
No, who wants to buy the company?
Well, I mean, we're really not focused on that. So
who would want to buy it?
Who would want to buy it?
Is this Oracle? Is this who wants to buy it?
I mean, I think that everybody now, including Salesforce, is focused on the cloud, and it's just a matter of right now people are starting to get comfortable with using the cloud for their data stores, their databases, and it's just a matter of time.
The question is actually, who wants to buy it because it's so defensible, and why is it so defensible?
Why? Okay. Well, I mean, I think that why is any cloud service defensible, right? Like, I think that once you build that trust, that you know how to scale things out, you know how to handle people's data, you're gonna be there for them, you're gonna have a community around the site. I think that that's, it's basically our expertise that we're putting on the line and adding to the product.
Right, and we also, we have plans to open source the product, and I think once you do that, you encourage adoption, and you basically set the standard for how what people expect out of their out of the search product.
Sandra, I want to just bring you in.
What precisely are the benefits of combining search with database? You keep talking about that.
Yeah, that's a great question, and unfortunately in this format it was a little difficult to address that. But so if you sort of think back to the slide where we showed the search setup at Octopart, the problem where you split the index from the database is that now you have an impedance mismatch, right? You have your schema stored in two separate places. And what we've done with ThriftDB is we've eliminated that impedance mismatch.
So is it faster? Is it better results?
It's just as fast as search was before. There are some things that we can do because we're using NoSQL. But it just makes it easier to develop with because you don't have that impedance mismatch. So if you want to modify the schema, add attributes, remove attributes, you can do that extremely easily.
Okay, we got 5 seconds.
How much does it cost?
Right, so I mean, it's a cloud service. We're going to definitely go towards the usage model, but we really care because we've been in this position about small developers being able to iterate on the product. So we're going to keep it free for small developers indefinitely.
Okay, that's ThriftDB, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alrighty, so I'm going to wait this time for the slide to come up, even though I know it's just it's a suggestion more than anything else. All right, so I'm going to, this time, this is the one, definitely? You guys don't want to swap out for someone else?
You can go back if you want.
It is us. All right, so please welcome to the stage Michael Lebo and Dan Fruity from Fortuit.
Hi, I'm Michael LeBeau. It's great to be here. I have the pleasure to launch Fortuit for the first time on stage here at TechCrunch, so thank you for having us. Fortuit is a dual enterprise solution focused on both the front office and executive management. It